us to quickly look at something because you mentioned it yesterday when you talked about vacationing somewhere in Gabon, about something I picked up on social media saying, this is quoting now. It says, going on vacations to African countries is so adventurous. You could be laying down in your hotel room and next thing the military has taken over in a coup, locked all airports and borders. Now you are stuck in a new country for the next 3 months. That's what I picked up. And I said, Rotus must hear this one.
That that could have been me.
Yes, that's why I said this is Rotus, so Rotus needs to hear this. Okay.
That could have been very much me, yes.
So Rotus, let's get started this morning. I see the Naira is on the slide again on the parallel market. And how far has it fallen since August 16 announcement of the 3 billion Afrexim crude oil sale on credit or loan, as we want to put it?
Yeah, well, it was at about 850 levels back then. Now, according to traders on the parallel market, it's about 915, 920. So it's dropped back to the 900 Naira levels, unfortunately.
So you had your suspicions about the loan. Why was that in the first place, when you mentioned it?
Well, there was some folks around me that had suspicions that got me thinking. And the thing was, when the loan was announced, NNPC did a thread. I think there's one of their spokespeople did a thread on Twitter explaining what the details of the loan were. But we didn't hear anything from Afrexim Bank. There was no statements, there was no press release, there was nothing. And $3 billion is a lot of money. It's a lot. So when a loan has been announced and you only have one side that's talking about it. I remember the acting CBN governor, he came out a day before the loan was announced saying that parallel markets, rather currency speculators should watch themselves, that something is coming, and if they're not careful, they will lose money. And it had an effect on the market because the day after they announced the loan, and then, we pretty much assumed that speculators got worried and started selling dollars to avoid, holding on to a currency that would, cause them to lose some money. So there was an appreciation in the market, but it just was not supported by anything from the Afrexim Bank. And that's where people started wondering what's going on. And now you have, Money Central and now Business Day, both releasing articles that this loan doesn't look like it's happening anymore. At least it's been stalled or delayed.
So if we can run with this, let's say now it's stalled. So without this $3 billion loan, what's next for Nigeria?
Yeah, so right now you at this point, if you don't have that money, you've got to get money from somewhere. You've got to get some supplies in. And this is why you can notice now that nobody is talking about the CBN anymore and the CBN's ability to defend the currency. Now we're all focused on a $3 billion loan that doesn't seem to have been delayed now, that hasn't come in. So now you're not even talking about the CBN. So now that's raising doubts about, how much it does have to protect the current, to defend the currency. So you've got to get the money from somewhere. You have to be able to defend the currency. Now look, Omas, another thing is you can choose not to defend the currency, right? You can say, hey, look, you know what? Yeah, I don't have the money, I can't do it. And you just float the currency, and then you let the Naira find its level, because at the I&E window is at 775 or 770 something. Parallel market is 920. So, they're trying to do what they can to maintain that thing there, but it's just not, it's not reflecting the parallel market. So look, at some point you just say, I can't kill myself and I don't have the money to defend this thing. And you let it go. And when you let it go, you free yourself of being able to defend it. But although there's consequences of that, in that people who want to access dollars can't. Now, remember, I need to remind people, the 41 item ban is still in effect. That ban, the people, whether it's maize, rice, whatever, palm oil or so, people who would have sourced for FX for those things, you're not allowing them to get it from the official window. You are saying you can't meet that demand. So the demand has to go somewhere. And apparently it's going to the parallel market. So if you're going to do a 41 item ban and tell people, yeah, go to the parallel market and get what you want, then you might as well do it for the rest of the country and just stop meeting obligations if you can't. So there you are.
But the economic reality will be, we even complain. Imagine if that happens, what will be?
Yeah, so I mean, you'll see the headlines. You and I will come here on Friday or Monday. If they do that and it goes to 1,000, 1,500, headlines will scream, people will shout. But at the end of the day, if you can't buy the dollar, you can't buy it. That is the consequence of an economy that is mostly made up of consumption, and your consumption is mostly imported. So you have two big problems there. You're not a production economy, you're a consumption economy, and then everything you're consuming is coming from overseas. It is what it is. At some point, you have to just face up to what you are and you deal with it. That's it, Thomas. So you have to pay for prior decisions that were made. You have, Vice President Shetima coming out and saying we're in a mess. Where Finance Minister Wale Edun coming out and saying we inherited a bad economy. Adams Osomole saying why we got a bad economy. What's his name?
No Ribadu to add to the song.
Thank you. So, if you want to just come out and tell everybody that, look, this is what we met and this is where we are, then tell everybody, let's just know where we are. No need to start talking about, the loan came in, the loan didn't come in, where will you find 3 billion? Oh God, just leave it. You don't have the money, let the currency go where it goes. You suffer the consequences, and unless President Tinubu would reach inside his own pockets and bring out $2 billion. I don't know what else they want to do. Frankly, I'm tired of talking about this thing, right? Because
Rotus, you can't get tired of talking about it. We must talk about it. That's it. That's what we are cut out for. But let's bring in a listener at this time to let them know we get messages to come on the platform 0809-444-0981. And the number once again, 0809-444-0981. WhatsApp messages only, as if waiting for the prompting. Tayo is here. If at this managed float, it is 900 plus, imagine if dollars were allowed to freely float. It's like that would be 2,000 Naira to the US dollar. I hope the BRICS sheds the global influence of dollar.
Well, Mas, at some point, let it be. They have, I don't know what else to say anymore. Money is not there. So, hey.
Stark reality.
It's stark reality. That is how economics works. You make your bed and you lie in it. So,
Then leave the Bob Marley song playing at the background, redemption song somewhere while you pray. Then let's move on to this next one I wrote this morning. Moving on to geopolitical matters, we understand that President Bola Tinubu is speaking already with the AU Union, that's African Union members, over Gabon. What is the next course of action?
That one too is almost like the dollar situation. Look, maybe the next course of action is dialogue, because Gabon is not an ECOWAS member. So some people are even asking, what's President Tinubu's business here? Listen, that is their own unique situation. Every country has their own unique stuff, but there's clearly a spread of coups and military juntas across, Francophone Africa. So look, you haven't even resolved the Niger yet. This one has now popped up. So, yes, sir, you have enough domestic problems already. President Tinubu's hands are full with just Nigeria alone. So for him to start stretching himself now to do this and that. Okay, look, maybe you just leave it, or you try and get international pressure. This is really France's problem. They're a former colony of France. They should, and then the regional members there. So, Omas, look, man, I don't know what to do again this morning.
Rotus,
the problems are too many.
They keep piling. They just keep piling.
They're just piling.
look, see, messages are here. Honestly, that
let's go. Let's do it.
So
yeah.
Cisco Delgado says, "Good morning, Rotus and Omas. I'm not a prophet, but get ready because the Naira will be 1,200 Naira to a US dollar by December." Cisco Delgado.
Hey, he might be right. He might be right. Who knows? He might be right. Yep.
You wait for Yinka now. Yinka Bolu comes in. Morning, Omas Rotus. They really don't need to pump any fixed effects into the system. Make the announcement and sit back. Watch everyone run about, confuse speculators, force everyone to look inwards. UK Masters is not a must. Wheat unko, eat cassava bread. You want to japa, follow desert if you like. That's how Yinka Bolu has just put it now.
I mean, Yinka is tired. Yinka is tired.
The same bug beats me, probably beat both of you. So that's what it is now. So Rotus, it is obvious that the government lacks idea of solving our economic problems. They should stop painting success when success is not achieved. Nigeria is confused. That's according to Babatunde Alao. So then I'll wrap up with the next ones coming in. But let's just go back to a few questions you have to take up here. The topic of Western democracy in Africa has come up again. Is it time to cook up let's make up what we will call African homegrown, to use the phrase of General Sani Abacha back in the days?
Omas, I think I really want to get the listeners' views on this. So maybe even though tomorrow is Tech Friday, we should just stretch it into that. The whole idea of democracy being complicated, it baffles me. Democracy is about choice, right? People should be allowed to choose their leaders and change them. If you are Ali Bongo in Gabon, Paul Biya in Cameroon, Kagame in Rwanda, Abacha, all these other people, Gaddafi, if you rob people of the choice to make their own, if you rob people of the option to make their own choice, then democracy suffers. So all this one about Western, the thing works elsewhere. There are other countries where they allow people to choose freely their leaders and change them, and they are working. So let's not act like we're aliens or something, you know? I don't know, how do you feel? What's your own view on Western democracy in Africa?
Rotus put me on this morning, Rotus.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay, so Rotus, but then I want to tell you, you have a convert this morning who insists you need to drop your social media handle so he can follow you, and that's Sunday to Chukwu. He says he enjoys your analysis. Please share with the listener.
Okay, yeah, funny. In fact, we used to do that quite a bit. I'm sorry I've stopped doing that. It's Rotankwot. So ROTANKWOT. I think we'll resume doing that after the end of the show. And at Smooth, we'll have to include Smooth as well, at Smooth 91 FM. So, yes. But yeah, Rotankwot, ROTANKWOT.
All right, that's the size of what it looks like. So we get back to democracy tomorrow, even though we have Tech Friday. So
yes. I want to get everybody's thoughts. Everybody, please, send your thoughts. Let us know what you feel about democracy in Africa, whether it works or what we should do. And, you know, before people are saying Cameroon is next for the next school. So everybody just stay alert, you know, we're tired.
Okay, so keep the firemen, the fire engine station around there to put out the fire. That's what simply you're saying, just in case. All right. Exactly. Rotus, that's the size of the show this morning. Thank you so much for your time.
Thanks so much. Thank you for the messages. See you all tomorrow.
And that's the size. My name is Omatseye Atsenuwa. Good morning.